EZA INT Broly has just about everything, but how should you build his hidden potential? How's it, everybody? Celtic Link here. We're back for another Dokkan battle video. In today's video, we are taking a look at the EZA INT Legendary Super Saiyan Broly, the most recent EZA over on both Global and JP during this year's worldwide download celebration. We're going to be taking a look at what this unit is doing and try and figure out what is the best hidden potential route for this guy. He kind of has a little bit of it all going on. So let's start by taking a look at what he's doing. This dude is a planetary destruction or movie bosses, category key 3, HP attack and defense 170%, right? All they did was basically up everything on his passive to a straight 170. His super attack, he is greatly stacking attack, right? So raising his attack 50% every turn and raising defense by 20% every turn. And this is infinite, right? So you can stack him up as many times as you want. On his passive, he's getting key 3 and attack and defense 260%. He's reducing damage to receive by 26% and chance for a critical hit 26%. He launches an additional attack that has a high chance of becoming a super attack, so that's a 50% chance. He also has an additional attack and defense 26% when attacking. He also has an additional key 3 and launches an additional attack that has a 70% chance of becoming a super attack, plus an additional damage reduction 18% and chance of performing a critical hit 18% when attacking if there is a hybrid Saiyans, pure Saiyans, or a movie hero's enemy. He launches a guaranteed additional super attack and an additional damage reduction of 15%. And chance to perform a critical hit 15% when attacking if there's an enemy whose name includes Goku, right? So he's a very hyper specific EZA, right? If you're going to be using him, you should absolutely 100% positively be utilizing him against movie heroes and of course Goku enemies, right? Which there are plenty of. So if you're doing that, right, he is gaining 1 additional super attack, right? So that's 2 attacks right there. He's gaining a 70% chance to do a 3rd potential super attack. He has a 4th 50% built in, and then of course any hidden potential investment for a possible 5th super. So RNG provided, he could launch potentially 5 supers, right? 4 without any hidden potential investment. So honestly, that's pretty good when you consider the fact that he is greatly stacking his attack, right? That attack can spin out of control very, very quickly if he actually meets his super condition. Where he kind of slows down a bit is on the defense, right? Unlike other stacking units that just stack defense, right? His defense raise is only 20% instead of the additional 30%. So that does slow him down a bit, but the trade-off is, of course, the amount of damage that he's increasing every single turn. To add on to that, right, he's got a little bit of built-in critical hit, right, starting with 26%, and then he has an additional 18% if facing pure, hybrid, or movie heroes, which is basically every event right now, every major hard event except for like the Go Frieza and the Cell event. But so that puts him at, what is that, 42%, right? And then plus this, I'm sorry, 44% plus another 15, that puts him at 59% critical hit chance. So I mean, he's more or less going to be critting with 60% chance. So the question is, seeing that he's doing all of this, what would you consider for his hidden potential system? Well, thanks to the Dokkan wiki, we got a little bit of an idea of what we can look at here, right? So he is an int unit. That means by default, he has 5 evasion. So if you were to invest full in evasion, you would gain up to an additional 20% chance to evade enemy's attack, including super attack. However, I mean, we'll come back to this because I don't think this should be the priority, right? Otherwise, right, he has critical hit as an int unit. The best he's going to be able to get is 30%, up to 40 if you invest fully in if you invest fully in with your skill orbs as well. However, I also don't think that that is the correct route. All right, as an int unit, he, like with the critical hit, the best type he can get is 30%, additional 40 if you invest full skill orbs on combo attack. And this is kind of where I think it should lie, right? He's got, let's say worst case scenario, right? You're not facing a Goku, you're not facing movie heroes. He's got one additional super at 50%, giving him the additional combo attack, right? Fully invested 40%. That's the possibility of at least 3 supers. And I'll tell you, even with this passive now, right? I mean, yes, I do, you know, if I'm facing a Goku, I do get this guaranteed super here. But against non-Goku enemies right now, I'm averaging 3 supers in a turn, sometimes 2, but more often than not, at least 3 supers. So having that additional attack just helps that right there. So I do think the priority on him should be additional attack, just to kind of mitigate any factors on missing any super attacks, right? It's just an extra 50% chance. It's going to be giving you, well, an extra 40% chance and 50% chance to do a super, which is better than no additional chance. It will make up for that missing stack, right? Now, as far as what his sub should be, I think, honestly, he doesn't really need critical hit. Getting upwards of 60% through his passive is probably more than enough. You could sub critical hit if you really wanted to make up for that extra 40% that isn't covered. But again, as an int type unit on his sub, the best you're going to get is 11, which is 22%. So I mean, it's not that bad, but I don't really think it should be the priority, right? Honestly, I do think combo attack and invasion is probably the way to go. You could swap it and put evasion full, right? Getting him up to that additional 30%, and then getting his combo attack up to an additional, right? You would drop it probably down to about 20 to 25%, which is still nice, right? Either way, I think probably works out. I would personally lean more towards the additional combo and then sub evasion. I think that's probably the best way to get the most use out of him, because if you're using him, you are using him to take advantage of this, right? The extra defense is of course just there to help in the event that the combination of him and any other Brolys on rotation fail to destroy the enemy. So I definitely think in either case, additional attacks is going to help out the most. So guys, that is it for the video. If you like the video, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and in the comments down below, let us know, how would you build your EZA INT Broly? Let us know in the comments down below. I'm always curious to see the types of builds you guys come up with. Remember, there's never any wrong build as long as the build you create is useful to you on the teams that you utilize the unit in. So I'm always curious to see what you guys come up with. Otherwise, guys, as always, thanks for watching, and aloha.